I had intended to go back and practice last weekend, but I was having a bad knee day, so hi, there's a cat in my lap. Say hi to Tonks. And we're back with another video talking about being bad at bowling. It might seem weird that I'm on here showing myself bowling poorly. I could just skip those weeks and instead just show the good weeks or something like that. But there's issues with that. First, at this rate, I'd probably go like a month without a video. That's not great. Second, part of this whole series is show the reality of what I'm going through, both in terms of bowling and in terms of my brain and mental health. Third, there is this tendency in social media to just show successes, but that tends to paint a very inauthentic picture, and that's something that I would really like to avoid. So we're just going to go ahead and look at my last couple of weeks. Not very deeply, because honestly I think part of my issue is I dwell way too much on results and not the process. And I just want to go ahead and share a little bit about where I'm at. And where I'm at right now is kind of bad. 2 weeks ago was just sort of a generically rough night that in the moment I had no idea what I was doing. I was frustrated and annoyed and just sort of falling apart. I left the house that night in something of a state. It was kind of a full-on autistic, it was just not fun. Upon sleeping on it, looking back at the score sheets and thinking about the night with a clear head, I was able to identify a few things that helped me feel a little bit better about that night. The biggest thing is that the music was really, really loud. And I even recognized that. I, in game one, said, hey, I should put my earplugs in. Spoiler alert, I didn't. I should have those, since while I didn't see it in the moment, I was struggling all night with sensory overload. That meant I wasn't really able to make the greatest decisions or focus well. So while all that was going on, the actual bowling side ran into a few things. First, I was getting a bad reaction out of the Obsession Tour. I had a couple good shots in practice, which is why I went with it, but it was just not finishing at all, so lots of 6 counts. So I switched out of it early. Looking back at it though, I know what was up with it. I've been really bad about bowling ball maintenance this season. Haven't really been cleaning the balls, haven't really been keeping up with the sanding. The Obsession Tour had a great look the last couple weeks, but it's gotten all lane shined. And it's a ball that can be very, very sensitive to surface changes. So it was just not the look. Next up, Zen Ball was not good. I'm not sure if I was in the wrong part of the lane or what, but I just couldn't get it to turn the corner. I felt like I was getting around it okay, but it pretty much just spun and didn't finish. But when I switched to the UFO alert on the theory that the core would turn a bit more in the middle of game 2, I had a pretty good look. Not a great look, but I was at least pretty consistently in the pocket. What that all adds up to in retrospect was I was just slow to make the right decision about what ball to throw and where to throw it. And that's something that I just still have a lot to learn about. So, okay, I'm going to chalk that up to a learning experience. Great. I'm feeling more positive about the night, at least about that part of the night. What I still felt bad about, after all this thought was put into it, was my spare shooting. That was legit terrible, and I pretty much have no explanation for that other than I need to get my butt in and practice. I missed a bunch of single pins as well as a bunch of very makeable 8 counts, losing something like 70 pins on dumb spare misses. Some of this can be chalked up to how much my brain was still misfiring things as overload, but still, it's not a good look. So looking back at that night, instead of, man, I suck at this and I should quit, the feel about the night is, okay, I just need to practice my spares and get more lane play experience. This really shows the importance for me, especially, of analyzing series from a clear state of mind and not just reacting to it when I'm feeling bad in the moment. Fortunately, the next week was a worse night. I had no feel for my release and my spares were still bad. I had intended to go practice the weekend before, but I was having a bad knee day, so I skipped it. I will say that I did at least put earplugs in super early, but my brain just got into such a negative space so quickly after some spare misses that I just was not able to recover well. I shut off the cameras after game 1, just have less to think about, and it didn't really help. Which leaves me with here I am right now. I'm struggling a lot with my mental game, and it's such a letdown after having had such a really good week after coming back from vacation. I'm at least in a place where I'm able to identify what my brain is doing, so that's something, but I've got to figure out how to find a place of relative stability And that is an exceptionally difficult process to go through. It might mean getting back into therapy or something, but I also need to practice my spares. I can usually handle throwing weird strike shots, especially since I'm still working on my timing and release changes, but spares, those are simple, repetitive, completely unrelated to oil patterns. And missing them is such an easy way to lose score. So missing them makes me feel like crap, which is why I need to get better at making them and handling it when I miss, because no one's ever going to be perfect, even as much as my inclination is to want to be. So that's just where I'm at right now. I'm in another downswing, but I'm at least identifying where the major problems lay, and I guess that's sort of progress. I know what I gotta do. I just gotta do it, at least in terms of the mechanics. The mental stuff, we'll get there. It's a long process, though. So thanks for tuning in for this one. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching as I go through sort of the hard state right now. And I hope you stick around with the next ones to come, because I hope they'll be good again. Thank you for watching. Good luck and good bowling.